Yeah, hello, my people. My name is Chinedu Anichi, your one and only celebrity CSO. And this is Chinedu Anichi TV, streaming live from St. Louis, Missouri, United States of America. My people, I greet you. And today is a good day. Today, we'll be having one of our big uncles, one of our big brothers in the show. And very importantly, I will ask you to be attentive. And as you are coming in, please share today. We want the whole world, we want all our families, Chinedaniki TV in Asia, those of you in Europe, those of you in America here, those in Africa, especially those in Nigeria. Please share this to all this live interview. Make sure tag every taggable. Yes, Nani Chilelo. Please, you people know what to do. Please share this live video. This what we are going to do now is like we are bailing an uncle and we are bringing an uncle to give a voice to an uncle today, and that's what we are doing. Please, wherever you are, try and share this live video, especially anything that has to do with government parastatal. Thank you and God bless you. So today we are having in a studio our uncle, our brother, an academic doctor and BDS Ibadan, satisfied in Japan. I will not say many things. I will allow this man to say this thing himself. Oh, because he will say certificate too much. So today we'll be having Dr. Sani Dalarabe A. Dr. Sani is the Director and CEO, Intercountry Center for Oral Health for Africa. Intercountry Center for Oral Health for Africa. That is ICOM. That's the person we're having in the show today. So may I have the privilege to invite in the studio our big uncle, Dr. Sani Dalarabe of Intercountry Center for Oral Health for Africa. And here we have Sani today. Hello, sir.
Thank you very much, Chinedu. How are you?
I'm doing good, sir. So how are you doing? Yeah, you're welcome to the studio. This is Chinedu Anichi TV, streaming live from St. Louis, Missouri, United States of America. And we are the African voice in diaspora. So
thank you.
Our motto is we rise by lifting others. Before now, a lot of people talk about Africa. A lot of people talk about Nigeria. The Europeans talk about us. The Asians write about us. Please reduce the volume or whatever you have.
Yeah. Of the volume. Yeah.
Okay, the Asians have been talking about us. Different people have been talking about us. But before the demise of our great novelist, Chinua Achebe, he wrote and said, on one of his books and said that if an outsider tells a story about you, the story can never end without prejudice. So it is better that you tell your own story. So we created this platform for Africans to come and talk their talk, for Nigerians to come and talk to them, for you as an individual to come and talk your own talk, not what people are talking about you, not what people are saying about you, but what you are and what really happened to your person. That is why we created this forum. So a lot of people talk about people. What people say about you, it can never be you. And outsiders cannot tell you a story better than you. So today we are privileged by God's grace and power. The underlying principle of this platform is God. And divinity has always shown superiority over humanity. And that is the reason we are calling you today to come and talk your own talk. So today, Dr. Sani Dalarabe of Intercountry Center for Oral Health for Africa will be talking his own talk. So you're welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much, Chinedu. How are you doing? Thank you very
I'm
much.
fine. For protocol,
Well,
please introduce yourself to our viewers.
okay. My name is Dr. Balarabe Sani Awolu. I'm a consultant family dentist and also a senior lecturer in the university in Faculty of Dentistry. And I'm also the director CEO of INTERCOUNTRY Center for Oral Health. Well, as you can see, my first degree was at the University of Ibadan. I did Bachelor of Dental Surgery. Then I proceeded to do a certificate in dental education in Japan. That's after the normal house job and NYSC. Then thereafter, I went for my master's in dental public health at the University of Sheffield in the United Kingdom. Then I came as well and continued my residency, and I'm a consultant in family dentistry in Nigeria. Thank you very much. That's a brief introduction of who I am.
That is brief, oh, but it's heavy.
But like you said,
Very brief and loaded.
yeah, yes, yes, thank you very much. Most of the time, the center, Intercontinental Center for Oral Health, like I said, is a federal government agency under the Federal Ministry of Health. It was established as that was 1988 in Jos under the WHO monograph to create for mandates of conducting oral health researches, demonstrating activities in orofacial region relating to health problems affecting the face and the mouth. Noma in particular, this disease called Noma is very key and one of our mandates, along with oral cancers, oral manifestation of HIV/AIDS, and of course, collaboration with the other organization. The
Wow.
center, like we know, it's actually a very big center. There are most of the time in what we have is that we have six of that type in the world.
Wow.
In Yeah, because we have a regional office for Southeast Asian, that's in Chiang in Thailand. We have the regional office for East Mediterranean in Damascus in Syria. We have the regional office for the Americas, that's in Ecuador. And we also have the regional office for Europe in Minsk in Belarus, along with the West Pacific region in Manila in Philippines. So, but the one for Africa, we are lucky to have it in Nigeria and of course in Jos as a head office. That is just a brief introduction of the agency. And we conduct researches. Ideally, when I resumed there as a director in May 2017. That's when I reduced in director CEO. When I came in as the director CEO, it was like most of the activities were not going on at all because you know how it is, how people feel about Nigerian situation, just issue of crisis, and what have you. I met only 23 people in the agency, and that is how I started it. And I looked at it, I said, there's no way we can operate with only 23 people, with a budget of just 700,000 naira overhead and a capital project or budget of about 13 million naira. There's no way we can work with no international donors, no agency, no assistance. We can't move. So one of the key areas we felt was for us to do the needful to increase the number of staff, how we can find a way to increase our budget, both the overhead and the capital, and at the same time to liaise with National Assembly as regards the bill, because this agency does not have an act, it's working on a bill and then we have to work on a bill so that we can develop it in such a way that we can have an act to guide it. During my time, I was able to meet Honorable Istifanos Aidigian, that's in Plateau State, who was a rep member at that time and became a senator. Throughout the time, he helped in moving the bill as a private bill in National Assembly. We did the first reading, that was in July 2017. And I remember we did September 20, we did a second reading in October that same year. Then we had the public hearing, that's on 2018, before we now had the third reading of the bill. The bill is actually RCOT bill, HB 1158. But as we go along the line, we have to develop what is called a system whereby we need to move forward from there. When you have an organization that has a staff strength of 23, it's a federal government organization that Ministry of Health. You cannot move forward. Thereafter, we started lobbying, doing the needful, meeting the right people in the right places for assistance to understand so that we will not lose this agency. Despite the fact that WHO was not contributing much to us anymore, we felt, well, we can kick off from there, kickstart it, move forward. So we developed, and I said, okay, we look at the structures there. We have to make a way where we can generate revenue for us and having a clinic both in Jos and also expand. For an agency that has a mandate for Africa, especially for WHO Afro member countries, limiting it in Jos is just like excluding everybody else. It's an African region center for oral health. So we should reach out starting from Nigeria. We looked at other regions where we can move, like let's say this mandate of Noma disease, which is very devastating, is very common in Sokoto. So we liaise with Noma Children's Hospital in Sokoto so that we can have an office whereby our doctors can go there and learn the clinical process, do researches, learn how to manage these cases and do research. At the same time, we felt for us to liaise with Nigeria, interface with government, we have to have our presence in Abuja, the federal capital. Because being in Jos all the time means that we cannot liaise because flying the road every time coming to Abuja, going and is a bit risky. So we need to establish a presence. So we got a small place we rented as a liaison office, whereby when our team comes in, we can sit down there, organize ourselves, refresh, and continue proceeding to interface with government. And that was what we did 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. I kept on interacting with National Assembly and we're improving our budget to the extent that the budget was increased and now we are talking about a capital project budget of 1.49 billion and overhead of 12.8 million naira monthly. And you can imagine we have a staff strength now of about 180 people. So now for any organization to establish, you must have what is called the human resource itself, the physical structures, and of course the machinery. We have the land, we say let us develop our permanent site, let us develop the annex itself, and at the same time see how we can get offices maybe in Sokoto, Noma Children's Hospital, and Abuja, so that we can rotate these doctors, rotate these staff, so that they can get exposed. Being in Jos for all those years has kept them localized. That was our target, and that is the target we are moving forward. And you know, when you do that, when you are moving forward as far as it is, by the time we go, we have to also expose these staff to training. Training, which some of them will have to go for those who don't have degrees, those doing masters, PhD, and all the rest. We have to train them. And we felt some people who are doing residency over time will develop a way where they can join and improve. Now, that is the legacy, that is the principle of what we intended to achieve in that place. Because looking at oral health, we don't have any organization or agency that tackles oral health like we do for other agencies. You have for ENT, you have for ophthalmology, but we don't have for dental. And this is the only agency we have. And thank God, historically, like I said, it was established in 1988 in Jos as a head office. Now, if we now move from there and remain in Jos, you and I know that the context of what people believe in the environment, it's what determines who they are. For example, if you tell anybody outside Nigeria, you tell him to come to Jos, you Google Jos, he will look at the history and the profile. He will feel a bit jittery to come there to assist you because the place has a history. But at the same time, we felt being Abuja or Sokoto, we can also be going out gradually to develop the place. Those are the way things were moving. And we, of course, and you know how it is for you to get approval, for processes to recruitment. We have to use the Federal Character Commission. We have to get approval, spread the people. Now, by the time we got researchers and doctors that would join us, approval, you realize that most of them were not staying, especially this issue of JAPA. I'm sure maybe you've heard about it, that some of our doctors were leaving the country. They were just going, they would come in, register. After a while, they'll go. We lost quite a number of doctors and some good people that wanted to stay. They were giving excuses and then leaving us mostly with the other staffs, especially but the researchers, most of them will give one excuse and say they can't say JAWS, they go and all that. These are all the basically the summary of the place. But I'm happy, whatever it is, we are doing our best. Nobody is perfect. We work with an environment that is actually conducive, but we have support of people, especially from Plateau State. We have a lot of support from people from Plateau State, especially those in the federal character, that commissioner for federal character was very supportive. We have support from Senator ID Gyan. It was wonderful. He gave us a lot of support as regards our bill and our budget and how to go about running the place. But nobody is perfect. Nobody is an island, and that's how the place is. Our target is to make the place known for the research and oral health. We are attending activities so that by the time doctors and researchers in ICOR don't go about doing, research has its own context. People do what is called KAB. Ever since we have been in the university undergraduate level, there's what we call knowledge, attitude, and behavioral researches, or knowledge, attitude, and practice. These are overflogged areas. We cannot have an agency going about just administering questionnaires. Those are not the areas you want them to dwell in. You want them to dwell into genetic researches, microvascular researches, and all what have you. So it means that they have to go where these things are. The diseases are throughout my stay, you hardly see any normal patient in Jos. You hardly see them there because anywhere they come from Niger, from Mali, from Burkina Faso, from all the neighboring countries, they come to Sokoto because the normal hospital is already there. And I felt, okay, why can't we also lobby there? We went to Sokoto, we discussed with them. They say, okay, we can come and partner with them because MSF is there, all other agencies are there, Halifax in Noma is there. Abuja also they have a Noma hospital. So we have to establish a kind of an understanding. We also have what we call craniofacial deformity organization, which is run by Dr. Bello. We felt our doctors can go there, study this, understudy him, stay with him, learn all those things. But these are rotational things we design. But in most times, when you talk to people, they don't seem to appreciate what your visions are and what you want to achieve, despite the challenges we have around. Nobody is perfect. We're always working towards achieving that. And anywhere I go, my exposure, I've been to many countries in the world, about 20 countries or more, and I've seen how these things are run. Because if you take a sample of these other agencies in other countries, like I mentioned, they also have those similar things. They are not domiciled in one place. They spread. But when you keep on saying we should come back and stay in Jos alone, it will limit our exposure. I think that's just a brief thought. Sorry, I'm taking your time.
Taking my time
Hello?
at all. You are not taking my time. That is why I'm here.
Oh,
So,
thank you very much.
the issue is that, first of all, I want to thank you from my explanations. But there is a way I tickle people each time you visit this show. You know,
Okay, go ahead.
we just heard about you as a doctor, what you did in Japan, what you did this, how you have been able to carry this agency right from when they
Yeah,
had 20 something staff to now that they have 100 and it's something, right from when they
yes,
were having a budget of 700 to now that is 1.4 billion. So there's
yes,
progress, and it shows that what you have learned abroad, you really brought it home. That's what we have been
yes,
praying, that people can
yes.
go outside, get knowledge,
No,
acquire some
yeah,
experience, bring it home, and use it to
yes.
develop us. Thank you for doing that. But let me tickle you a bit. Some people
Okay.
here might be thinking that Dr. Sani is one of the sons of one of the greatest men in Nigeria who just fell down from heaven and became doctor. So one of the reasons why we established this platform is to consolidate and sustain the continuity of intergenerational conversation, whereby the Gen
Thank you very
Z will start learning
much.
virtues from some of the generation before them. So I want to ask you, in every glory there is a story.
That's
How
true.
humble was your beginning?
Well, let me explain to you. My parents are in the village. They never had a formal education. My dad had is what is called Islamic education way back in Kano. That's the Minjibu local government. I was opportune because my dad used to go to Lagos on business trip to buy things, to do things like that. It's a very humble home. Well, I was in the village at Geza in Munjibu local government in Kano State. That's where I'm from, in Munjibu local government in Kano State. Now, my dad had the opportunity of going to Lagos several times. So he now said, look, why can't I just, he now took me and my younger sister and my elder sister as well, that we should come to Lagos and join him. That was how I started. Very simple life. Going to school. I started my primary school education in Lagos at St. Patrick Catholic School. That's at Yaba. Simple, just ordinary. Ordinary. My dad was just there. He was just doing his small business. He's a malam. He doesn't work for government. He has never worked for government before. My mom was just a full housewife. Now from there, primary school, you know how it is, the missionaries in Lagos, they were very good at St. Patrick Catholic School. They taught us very well. From there, I spent years learning because my dad was say, look, this school is very good. It was from there, after 6 years or so, primary school, I was opportune. I passed the common entrance exam and I got admitted to King's College in Lagos. I
Wow.
know King's College in Lagos I got admitted there. From there, we were just about five of us from Kano or so at that time, 1982. So from there, I was just humble. No, Kano State was paying my school fees at that time at the secondary school, and then of course continue our education there. I made a lot of friends. I studied very well. I've always focused on my future and career. Along the line, towards the end of finishing my secondary school education, I now didn't know what to even study. Most of what we're doing, either do civil engineering, you do medicine, you do dentistry, what have you. But because I used to watch TV a lot, and I used to watch a lot of movies. I remember one movie I watched that time was about a guy who was at a shopping mall, and then there was a car show, and he said he cannot afford to buy this car because he's not a dentist. So I'm now wondering, who's a dentist? And from there, I started seeing program. Now, as a young boy, you feel, this is an area whereby you feel everybody wants to become a doctor, but I wanted to become a dentist. So I did the jam. I got my admission to University of Ibadan because I got admission to undergrad for after scoring my jam. I got 237. I never forget my jam score, 237. I scored in jam from physical. So I entered my first choice dentistry. But my dad said, look, it's something you should go and study. After all, he does not know any dentists or so in Kano because most of them are Indians and what have you. So luckily for me, I just continued there. I finished my first degree. There I developed the interest of saying I should do a postgraduate study. I started going, then I started looking for, I got a scholarship from Japan. I went and spent about almost a year there, dental education under the JICA program. It was actually a JICA program, Japanese International Cooperation Agency program. I was very grateful. I was just lucky to have it. Then from there, I continued working at Bayero University in Kano. I continued my work in the main Kano Teaching Hospital as a dentist. Then I started my residency. Thereafter, I got assistance from Kano State government to go and do my master's there in Sheffield, master in data and public health, about just for 1 year. On finishing, I came back, continued my residency, and I finished my residency. That's just my life. A simple person. I don't have much. I don't have
Somebody,
too much. I have.
somebody on Instagram said, um, let me know what is going on. He said, there's an echo. I don't know where it's coming from. Somebody said Kashim Imam from Medugri was also in King's College. Some people, they said, yes, Kashim Imam.
Okay, Kashima. Okay, that's nice.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's just my story. That's the story of my life.
Wow, that's good. Thank you,
Yeah.
sir. Naturally, this development you brought to our place, and for some long time now, you have been pushing this. What are the challenges ecologically, let's say what Nigeria, what Nigerian factor has constituted a challenge to you since you have been trying to develop and expose and extend the tentacle of this particular center.
Like I said, when you start an activity in Nigeria, you're bound to face challenges. Challenges are vast. You see, number one, people will look at you, see your vision. Before they flow with what you have in mind, they will always have what they will think you have an ulterior motive of something. Most of the time, that's what happens. Trust. Now, in the developmental cycle, you want to have people that will buy your idea and understand it. It's quite difficult when you are living in an environment whereby we are being separated or guided by our natural fault lines. You see, the fault lines, what people think about fault lines is bringing the issue of tribe, religion, and what have you. Those are our natural fault lines. These are things that should be personalized, that should not come into your workspace at all. For example, my history is to me, there's no way I will not be grateful to God because I went to a Catholic school as a Muslim. I went to a Catholic school for 6 years. And I have a lo- I'm from Kano State, a Hausa boy, but I speak Yoruba and I grew up in Lagos. In fact, I used to enjoy Lagos more than I used to know Kano. So you see, when I started working, is for me to say, okay, I want to achieve this for this organization. One is for the interest of my country and for the benefit of my profession. I kept it to school because I never used to know the place. But when I got to know the place, I said, look, a lot can be done in this place. We can achieve a lot. But the challenges will be when you face people, they will think, oh, you are there to just get some money, you are there to just get this and get people employed. I said, look, that is not the target. The target is let it speak for itself. Whether we like it or not, nobody is going to live forever. We'll leave a legacy behind. Somebody trained me, and I'm very grateful to all my teachers that trained me, both in secondary school and university. They taught me well. A lot of them, I always remember professors like Jike or Laiton, what have you. They taught me well despite all the challenges. They say, look, Sani, one day you rise, you do this. I say, fine, it's good. That whatever you want to achieve, let it be that there will be challenges. Challenges of people not believing in you, challenges of people undermining your struggle, challenges of people that want something else from you, for them to do what they think what you are doing for you is for you personally. It's not. Whether I like it or not, I have a time that will come there and I have a time that will leave. I always remember the words of our former leaders. They say, look, the world is like a stage. Every actor has his entrance and exit. But let it be that you want to leave behind in between what matters most. And there's no way somebody can take that history away from you. That's why when I go to people, I remember people that assisted us a lot. The DG budget assisted us a lot to give us funds to assist us to grow the place for personnel in particular, and then for capital. They assisted us a lot, and you know how it is. When you want to have a project, you keep on running, and the government has a way of changing, and then we will have to match. But these are challenges we face. Then internally, I was working without my family. I left my family completely away from my work because I was actually working, living in Jos alone. I had a wonderful driver who was always ready to move around with me. We were going to places. We would travel from Abuja to Kaduna. We go from Abuja to Jos, Abuja, Kefi. We were just going places. Whoever will assist us, senators, rep members, people in government, we all networking because that's the aim of lobbying. You lobby to get what you want. We keep on lobbying. Then gradually, we're seeing results because people believe in you. When you keep on doing lobbying, you do advocacy. That, of course, requires that it should take me away from that place for a long time. Most of the time, I say, look, I'm going to be swimming in rough waters because you know how it is. Rough waters, you're going to swim with sharks, you're going to swim with kind of thing, meaning that the challenges are enormous, but you're going to swim across. You have to move. And that's why I told them, I said, look, but you might not understand me. But you know, when you're moving ahead, I said, my exposure is that no matter how, whether you like it or not, I will leave a legacy behind, even if it's just one or two. And that's why I'm happy that the place has developed. At least I'm not, nobody's perfect. But you know how Nigerian factor will always come into play. Nigerian factor always comes. Someone say, this or that. I live a simple life. Throughout I have my family both in Kano and Katsina, and they are just living their lives. Meanwhile, they will not see me for months just to get things done. I was always with my driver eating on the street and all that. But nevertheless, nobody sees you on this. But when things now start manifesting, they wonder how you do it. I'm not a magician. I didn't do it alone. People assisted me, and I'm grateful for all their effort wherever they are, both in Plateau, in Abuja, in what they assisted me because they were able to see my vision and they agreed on that vision, and that's what I'm happy. That's how I said when people give me the opportunity, I will tell my story, the story of ICO, that I was there and I've left. Whatever, whether I left or I did, but I was there. It always come to time I will leave and go. I'm not here to stay forever. But let me do something that people will benefit when I'm gone. That's just the spirit. Thanks, Chinedu.
Yes, and I think you really have a very patriotic spirit, and one of how you know about those who are patriots is the kind of way they approach issues that they are indifferent to challenges. Okay, one of the things I've learned lately is that you see, there's one poverty mentality. One of the things that happens to somebody who wants to perpetuate his stay in stagnance or poverty is that he sees big dreams as scam. When you create a big dream and say we are able to raise this thing from 700,000, our budget from 700,000 to 1.4 billion, we say this man is a scammer. You always believe that it is not possible. So that is one of the things we are. And some, the factors are people can easily misinterpret things, misinterpret situations, giving it what you call predominantly a gain-oriented analysis. So anything you are doing, there's something this man wants to gain. There's something he wants to gain. That's a particular thing this man wants to gain. That's the way our people see things. And so even when you are, sometimes there are activities you go into, just look at what you're saying. You know what it means to leave your family behind in the north, exposed to the kind of situation Nigeria is seeing every time. And you know the risk of being on the road from Kano to this with your driver and what is happening in Nigeria now. It's a very big risk. So there's one of my great mentors that I passed through his tutelage. He said that Nigerians don't like to collaborate. What we do is that we compete. And collaboration is what brings about success and growth. But competition brings rivalry and jealousy, you know. So I know what you're talking about. We're all Nigerians. I grew up in Nigeria, born and bred. So you're not you are preaching to the converted. So, sir, just let me get to this point. There is this publication I saw about you. So thank God you're here today. Let me use the opportunity and ask you. There's a publication I heard about a committee from the House of Rep and the presidency interfering or making appraisal of your position and the entire ICON. And some of the publication referred that you were found wanting in your office. Is that true? And if that is true, can you let us know why? And if it's not true, can you debunk it here, sir?
Thank you very much, Chinedu. Ever since I started, I've always been interacting with National Assembly. After all, like I told you, interacted with ID Gian throughout his career as a House of Rep member. And he was House of Rep member for 4 years. And before he now became a senator, also interacted with him. So as fate will have it, I've always been looking for the opportunity for them to come to National Assembly, people to come to visit the agency. But people always say these 8th Assembly, 9th Assembly, 10th Assembly. Now, for some reason, this assembly gave us a letter which we prepared for. But like I said, I'm a human being. I just collapsed. I just developed. After a while, I was all this running around, traveling between Abuja, Lagos, Abuja, Kano, Abuja, Jos, Abuja, all those things. I didn't know I was even having a high BP. Honestly, I was having a high. I never knew I was. I never checked because that's very careless of me. Only for me to find out that few days before they came, I just couldn't stand up. I had what is called ischemic stroke. So I was rushed to the hospital. And I quickly told I told Dr. Ukachi, please handle this thing. I'm in the hospital. I was given a series of antihypertensive drugs. I was on medication and all that. But if, like you said, nobody would tell your story like you. So, and I said, if I recover, unfortunately now I'm not there. And they said they came. And they came, they saw the place. Nobody was telling them anything. Nobody could explain. And I felt, oh, all this while, was I the one carrying this agency on my head alone? Nobody was buying the idea. Nobody could explain. So that means if I had fallen down and died, that would have been the end of my story. And then nobody would know what I was doing. I said, look, I tried to carry you along, but you know how difficult it is to tell people. I said, look, but this is the vision we have for this place. Luckily for me, when I recovered, I still went back to that same committee and I explained to them. I gave them all the documents and all that. I said, look, what you are hearing, what you are seeing is always side talk. Like you said, people will think you have something you need to gain. I said, when there was a time, the Honorable Minister of State for Health, Mamura, was wonderful. I was very lucky to have him coming to that center. And it took some time, and he came in. He saw the place. He was appreciative of the place, and he visited both his permanent side and saw it. Sometimes it's very difficult to get people to come out of their busy schedules. It's very, very busy. It's very difficult. But because they given us letter, we made all the necessary arrangements. But somewhere along the line, some people don't want you to succeed. Some people always find that say, this is man, this is it. For whatever reason they have. I say, well, history will always judge and time will always tell the truth. And I said, look, if I was there, like I'm explaining to you now, as I was explaining to them, if you give me fair hearing, give me opportunity to express myself, you want you to give the argument and vision, probably you see the benefit and the gain in what I'm talking about. So that I was not given that chance. So those people that are there, it's either they don't buy the vision, they don't understand, and they don't feel, all the staff were complaining, they were not carried along. I said, look, carrying people along at this stage is not a difficult thing to do. But as a chief executive of a place, your greatest challenge is how to interface with the people that will assist you. That's your greatest challenge. But I leave behind people who I feel are capable, can handle these things when I'm gone. But if nobody can handle it, it means that, wow, this is a bit challenging. And that's a huge gap in between. People will say, I'm not staying in Jos, I'm not staying in the office. I said, we open a liaison office, which you all come to. People come there, we have meetings there, we interface in Abuja. I'm always there. There's a guest room where we kept there. I'm always managing them, doing the things. People have felt, oh, that's the life I want. I said, why can I want a life whereby I'll be buying food from the market and be eating when I have wife that one of my best wife that cooks, my wife cook all and so why would I do that? I let my children will not see me for months, only phone and WhatsApp, and that is not a good thing. So unfortunately, that time destiny had in such a way that I was not available. But after that, when I got better, I went back to them to the committee and I explained to them, and I believe they were satisfied. I think that was what it means. It was a communication gap that was all over the place. I think that was the whole issue.
Okay, so that sometimes a lot of things flies in the news, and the way
Yeah,
Nigerian news and media is that they write it in such a way that it will attract people and give views.
so
Just like
true.
the kind of things we do in social media, people will come to
Yeah,
social media and write whatever they want to write, so that people,
yeah,
especially this time, they have monetized social media. People,
yes, that's
especially now that they have monetized Nigeria, Nigeria is now eligible. People should can see anything on social media now to make money.
yes, yes.
So, when I saw such a media publication, I said it would be nice not having you today completely, and you were unable to say such things and clear the air. So
And
that is
that's why, if I may tell you, that's why I was open to you. I said I've shared some document with you. If you have a way of maybe audience can have a look at it, it's open. Budget is not a secret document, it's an open document. And everything I've shared some of the booklet of the agency to your WhatsApp. You can share with them. My presentation, you can share with them. They can go and verify these things. I believe journalism is about investigative journalism. You investigate, no matter how whether you like it or not, the truth will always come out. And no matter what is, everybody has his own life. I have my own career to protect. I will not have my own life to protect. I have my family name to protect. I have my children to protect. Why would I come and all the way and do something just to mess up my career? My job is that the university, Bio University, I want to continue to to become a associate professor and professor and move on my life there and consultant because I have other things to do. But I left all those things for all those years, and we have a history. Most of the people that got employment, they got employment because we're able to defend the need to employ them before a proper team in Abuja. At that time, they gave us a fund. They said Nigerians will get jobs, they will work, over time they will get trained and they're training them. But you know all these things require funds. But nevertheless, when you employ people, they say, oh, you have something to gain. Of course, everybody has there must be a reason for you to, there must be a impetus of movement for you to achieve. Nobody is perfect, and nobody will say there's nowhere that you have to go. Like we said, we don't break the laws, but you can bend some rules here and there to move forward. You achieve it. That's all. That's the ultimate aim. Nevertheless, I believe I'm very happy for the opportunity you gave to me, Chinedu. Thanks a lot.
Okay, now, based on the committee you have seen, what is their reaction? Have they reacted maybe in documents or verbally, trying to reposition your status in the center?
No, like I said, most of the time you have people who are working with you. Now, when you have staffs in the government organization, staff should not be encouraged to be taking documents illegally just because they've come across it. There's what is called oath of secrecy in
Sure.
government. And government does
Confidentiality.
not allow, yeah, yeah, government does
Confidentiality.
not allow you. Yes, you carry a file is being entrusted to you or with you for keep. But because of that, you now take some document, you snap it, share it on social media, take it and write petition. It doesn't make sense. There's no way you can take a government document and be sharing it and be taking people and write. People write all kinds
That's
of
why the
petitions.
court does not honor anything that is not C2C. They call it
It's not
certified true document because it must
certified
have
document.
been certified. It must be
And
obtained
that's
from
what happened.
a constituted authority. It must be
Yes,
obtained legally. Illegally
obtain legal.
obtained evidence.
Oh, instead of because most of the time people write petition, they send it to all kinds of places and all that because they've
Like
seen
in
what is called
in US where we are,
yes,
there's what we call privacy policy.
yes,
If you record somebody and present it without seeking the person's consent to record the person,
yes,
like in my house, I have CCTV camera everywhere here because
yes,
the kind of place I'm living, I'm just based on my color, I'm the only person around here. So I decided to put camera all over my house, and I'm living close to a highway, and the high school is
yes,
right behind my house. Do you understand?
yes.
So
Yeah,
because of it, I put up cameras everywhere under ADT, so there are the people working in my place. So because of that, you have to put their signposts both in the front and at the back of my house to show that there is a security agency company in charge of this house, monitoring it with camera. If you don't put it, if you obtain any evidence within that period without notification to the public, do you know it will not be accepted to see how this country is? If you see anywhere, you go into any organization and there's CCTV camera, they will tell you there is a camera here. You will be informed. So that is, you want me to excuse you 1 minute? Okay.
yes.
So that
Okay.
is it. But what my concern is now, what I want to know is What is the
Okay,
position of the
let me let
committee?
me let me just explain to you. You
Okay.
see, what happens is that, like I told you, when people normally there are processes of things. When you see something you don't understand, or you are privileged to be part of that decision making, you don't know what about you not take the document, you not attach it and write it and send it to places wrongly. I think that is highly discouraged in government practice. Not because they will not say freedom of, you see, if government works that way, then the government will not have progress, they not make progress. When an agency you are trying to solve a problem, somebody, so the people you call your management team or your staff or so, you give them file, take it here, they open it, they snap it, they take it, they attach it, they write petitions all over the place. Now people now come without verifying it. They don't even give, they not verify the petition or the contents of what it is. They don't even give you room to explain yourself. But if staffs operate that way, then it will never allow that agency to grow, because you are passing down a very bad tendency among staff. Because if one group finish, another group to rise. There are what is called need to know basis. It's not every staff that needs to know everything that you do or how you do it. It's not every staff. There's a group of people, they know, fine, that's how we make progress. But when people now pass information to some area and expose you because they have access to information, that's why government brought what is called oath of secrecy, and which every staff has signed. But nevertheless, people come in and say they want to verify this, in the set up a committee, and they do what is called a witch hunting process. They keep on checking, looking for your fault. There's nobody is perfect. They keep on looking for your fault and they want to use it against you. But they should be do it. They should do this in their protocols and their procedures of doing these things. So, nevertheless, when the committee will come and say they will investigate this, they will investigate that, they will investigate that, and what the process they are actually taking is even wrong in itself. And I ask myself this question: why would somebody work as a chief executive when he has a group of people as taking any document of his portal without your permission and send it? What is the punishment for those kind of people? Or should they just be continuous like that? In that case, government will not work. And I fear for that kind of situation whereby you have these kind of characters of staff developing this as part of their ethics or practice. I said, whether you are a lawyer, whether you're an accountant, whether you are a businessman, whether you're an administrator, when any document given to you is given to you in trust and in custody, based on the function or the role and you do in civil service. It's not for you to now say, okay, I'm privileged to this information and I'll now start sharing with the wrong people because I feel I want to bring down this man. That's what is happening. And I felt this will not augur well for the organization, because as time goes by, this staff activity will be hindered by all these processes. No matter what you do, if you hate a leader, you don't go and change the policy or the vision and mission of the organization because you hate a person. That is not a good, that's not a good way to go about it. And whatever factor you use to hate him, you should come dialogue. There are processes, come and meet him, talk with him. This is what you understand. If he needs to tell you, look, you need to know this, you don't need to know this. None of your business. What is your responsibility, your duties and schedule of duty, do this, do that. Go ahead and move on. You can imagine a organization whereby you have like a thousand people and you have a head, then everybody is now taking your document and sharing. That organization will not move because you don't know what people do to achieve what they want to achieve. But then you just keep on changing them. And that's what the Genesis. And I said, let give opportunity for me to explain myself. I was not given the opportunity. Just came and say, look, you should leave office, you should do that. I said to, nevertheless, life is destiny. One has to move on and take it and to move on. It's not a do or die affair. But one thing people must understand, that if you do something wrong yourself by taking documents, you must know your conscience will pick you whether you like it or not, and you meet it along the line, because you have erred in your responsibility as a staff or as a duty person, whether you like it or not. Those things were kept as a trust, and then you have betrayed that trust, and that is something that is not condonable in any tribe or religion or whatever. Government work. I've worked in the government service. I've worked for years. This is not the first place I'm working. And I started working from National Assembly itself, 2000. This is my 24th year as a civil servant. My colleagues are there. Some of them are PAMSEC now. My classmates is a PAMSEC, and we work together. We know. We say some organization people don't know. And I try to train the staff that if you have little knowledge of what is happening, it is not for you to know. You don't have to carry it in the wrong place. People get it. Now, all these documents that they shared, none of them were certified, or none of them were approved that they passed through my office to be shared. None of them were certified. So that means people that you put trust on are just busy sharing things around. And that is not a very good ethical practice for civil servants at all. That's just my argument, and that's my discussion anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The problem we have in Nigeria is that everything goes wrong from everywhere. Because naturally, even if there's a committee that wants to handle such thing, the committee should come up and make a request for documents from your table as the source of authority. There's always a way to request for documents. You understand? There's a protocol for requesting documents for verification. So not that maybe a clerk will go and photocopy something and go and present somewhere. It doesn't work that way. Even the people who are part of the committee, they have offices and they have clerks. So in Igbo, they said if you say that sweeping a compound is bad, and you go home and sweep your own compound, it is anathema on your side. You understand? So what you know that you condemn in the front door, you should not accept it at the back of the door. So I believe that from your own side, but is a committee from House of Rep or Senate?
I'm talking about that committee from the ministry itself.
Okay,
There's another
please go
committee
ahead.
that from the ministry, not House of Rep. The committee from the ministry, they came in while I was attending a program in Abuja. And they came in, they went in there, and they were talking to our staff. My concern is what I felt. Oh, normally when somebody wants to come to your place as a head, a proper channel should be given to you that they are coming to see you and they are coming to do this and do this and do this and do that, which is okay. Wherever you are, you say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm so place, I can't make it, can I come in?" But all of a sudden, people just dropped in as if they have like a warrant. Even if you come to my house, before you enter my house, you have to get a warrant, right? You have to have a warrant that says court warrant that says you're allowed to go in. When people just barge into your place and then like they're doing what is called backdoor investigation, and that is not a good thing to do. That is making it look as if, oh, this guy, we must catch him at all cost. We must get all this bad thing. Let's gather all the negative information we can, because all the staffs, they are there. They are witnesses before man and God. They are witnesses. Everybody is going to die and enter his grave, whether you like it or not. Everybody will go. Now, these people come in, they said, let's gather all his negativity. Let's forget about his positivity. That is not a good way to go about investigation. I'm correct. If I know, you must not say, oh, this man I came in here, did he come here, was just chopping money, chopping? What is he doing? Is he doing progress? Let us listen to the people. And I understand that a committee should come in, interface between the staff and the people, and interface with the people. You understand? Make it in such a way that you are here to reconcile, make the place better for all Nigerians. That is target. If I'm a member of that committee myself, I'll say, look, my target will not be here to come and spoil this man. Let us go and see where are the problems. How can we get it right? We should not encourage this staff because they have access to some people in the ministry or in the budget and country around the world to just do whatever they like. It's not good for the future of any place at all. That if these people come in as a committee, you should come in and say, oh, this man is not around. When he's around, let us come, let us discuss. Sit down with him, sit down with all his staff. Let us hear the good, the bad, and the ugly. But when you now say you don't even want to hear the good, you want to hear the bad, it is not me. I was not there. They didn't allow me to sit there. They were just meeting with the staff. I said to carry on. Life is there. They say I should hand over. I handed over and move on with my life. There's nothing I can do. After all, always have it. Always have a story to tell. That's why I'm talking to you now. If not, why will I be talking and making sense? But normally I said we are all human beings. Whatever they condole or they want to condole now, they will go back and condole it somewhere else. They don't want to condole it in their own place, but they are condoling it here. There's no way I'm a member of a committee. I will visit an agency. I will not go to the normal channel of introducing ourselves, meeting people, interacting with them. We are all Nigerians. We are not aliens. None of us are an alien there. We're all Nigerians. We all have the same country. but nobody knows tomorrow, and nobody knows where we meet. But they came in and barged in, and they make the whole place like a war zone. Everybody starved, everybody uncomfortable. Whatever we have made errors, we say, look, this man has done this, and this, and this, and this. Everybody knows what it's like to achieve. No, there's no Nigerian that doesn't know what it takes to achieve for any organization in 1 year. Nobody sits in an office in 1 year without making a progress and not having issues with that progress. It will not. Why we now have somebody have stayed there for 7 years plus? For crying out loud, look at what I've done. This is what I've done. These are the things I've done. Okay, what is better? How many months do I have left to even finish and go back to my life? These are many people don't even know about the place. We have to go do booklets. I was the first person to make the booklet in that place for people to even know, share it out. I took it to WHO conferences in Guinea-Bissau. I took it to Australia. I took it to America. I took it to New York. Anywhere I went, I took the booklets of ICO, telling them the story here and there. Just let them know. They say, "Oh, where is this place?" And along the line, you get people that will come and assist you. But yet, these are Nigerians who came to check what the problems are. Even if they did write petition and all that, you can come and say, "Look, people that are writing petition and all those things. This is not how to go about it. Whatever it is, this is what you should do. You should follow the process protocol. Discuss with your management. Discuss with your heads. Learn the hierarchy of management of leadership. Learn it. This is how it goes. It's not as if you just carry people and go and say, oh, we must finish this man, we must bring him down. No, nobody can bring you down. That's life. Everybody must succeed. But when people are saying that they must do that, and the committee came and then they left, and they just came, bought the letter, I took the letter, I went, I left them. And I felt this is an unfair hearing. This is an unfair status of treating a chief executive. Even if I'm just a common civil servant, there's a way you should treat a civil servant. Give him the respect. For crying out loud, I'm almost going to be 60 years. I'm 54 years old. I have people that I've trained. I'm still training them. I'm still teaching people. But I've been in service. My little knowledge is I know this is this and that. But nevertheless, I felt this is what opportunity one people should know, that you cannot achieve perfectly. You have to achieve. And that's what matters most. Thank you,
Yeah,
Chinelo.
I think I have to come in somewhere. I also, on the course of research, when I invited you, I went through some things. I saw that there are some organizations like some youth organizations, those who know about your antecedents, we are calling on the government to reinstate you and give you a fair hearing. So, what was your or what is your reaction to this kind of beckoning?
When I saw it myself, I was like, oh, this is interesting. Because when they were doing those things, those committees were there were people there, they were also there who saw this, and some of them felt this is an unfair status of this activity there. And they observed it themselves, so they carried the story further. They said, look, oh, if you don't know what's happening, this is what's happening to this man in this place. This other, and then they now felt, oh, are they taking this thing in a typical fault lines of what Nigeria is about, which is not good? Meaning that I'm not the first person to head that place. I am not. Since 1988, I've had past directors who I respect a lot, past directors. But when you start looking at it, people will have seen why has it been that since the 1988 there hasn't been issue with other directors that came in, even though the status quo was like this. I came and met 23 people. And was it because we expanded it, or was it because we did this, or was it because I'm a different person based on the nature of the person I am, the way I'm created, or what is it that they don't like? After all, if you start to think about it, some directors that were there were four of them before me. The first director was Dr. Adeyemi Adeyinka. Then, of course, Dr. Ishaku Dampulu, Dr. Otto, Dr. Adeleke. Now, all these things before me, all these people did their own time and left. Now, I came in, I did my first tenure. After I finished my first tenure, the Honorable Minister of State that time, Dr. Mamura, felt that I have achieved a lot. He gave me a second renewal appointment for another 4 years. And I'm in my third year, going to my fourth year. I already planning my movement and how I live. And all of a sudden, this thing just started. I say, what is it that they are afraid of? What is it that they hate about this man? And I said, too. Nevertheless, I kept on telling staff that do not do things against this public service rules or civil service rules. Do not go and be taking documents and be sharing either on religious people or on tribal people. It does not work for anybody. Look at my history. All the academic gains of my life, I've never gained it in the north, even though I'm from Kano. I stole in Lagos for God's crying out loud. Primary, secondary, university in Ibadan or your state. I schooled abroad. I didn't school even the north. I just came to the north to work. So I don't have a typical nature of people that I think will come with some level of one tribal, religion, or whatever. And I keep on telling them that. But yet, people don't see it. But like you said, when you have people that are not exposed, they are not educated, they don't have much of exposure and all those things, they still feel Nigeria, we must unite ourselves. We must go beyond those hierarchy of things. If you keep on looking at it, we will never make progress. I once told some people that when I was in Japan, I stayed there and I saw the developmental growth in Japan because people didn't. And I asked my professor, Professor Oishi, I asked him, I said, Professor Oishi, why is it that Japanese people are doing all they are doing with no grievances? He said, because whatever is personal to you is between you and your God. Whether you are a tribe or you are a religion, that's between you and your God because you did not ask God to create you this way. He put it where he likes. So, and I kept on telling people and saying, look, like, we are here to develop ourselves. Now I came in here, I've sacrificed, left my family, left everything, be eating on the street. My driver is the number one witness of who I am, my character person. We go places, struggle, meet this person in the club, in the bar, and we meet them in the park, just to get things for them to achieve. And I felt, oh, if that's the situation, what can I do? Those before me, they came, they left. And I say, me, I came, I want to leave my legacy as well. Legacy of human resource development, legacy of project development, legacy of capital funding, overhead funding. A lot of my staff have gone for training. A lot of them have gone for training. They cannot deny that. A lot of my staffs have gotten opportunities to go and do academic work. They cannot deny that. It's there. Anybody who knows about it knows that these are things we do to make progress. And I just felt unhappy that Nigerians could still behave this way. That's what I just felt.
Okay, yeah, thank
Okay.
you. Because when I want to invite a guest, I make some research. So I saw some
Yes.
non-governmental organizations, some unions, some students, and youth organizations from the north writing that you should be reinstated and should be given a fair hearing. So I I was forced to, or I subscribe to what they are saying because I know they are very neutral umpire and the way they react, those organizations are organizations I know that they don't just react anyhow. You know, they they are guided by principles, especially principles that are in consonance with sincerity, transparency, and accountability. So, yeah, thank you for people to be talking for you. That shows. That's why I said I'll bring you here so that we'll hear from you. And finally, before we draw the curtain, what is your wish? Like, what is your prayer? Like, if we want to speak on your behalf, because this is African Voice in Diaspora, what we do, we inherit. So how I get to know some other people for the whole nurses in Nigeria, abroad, Nigeria and abroad. There was this kangaroo nursing council, nursing midwifery and council, nursing midwifery and nurses council of Nigeria came up with one kind of what they call verification guideline that is bringing problem for everybody. Oh gosh. 1 minute. 1 minute. my software box was going down, and the charger. I don't know when my kids entered the studio and moved the charger. So I wanted to put it on, and I found out the charger was not here. That's the kind of things we see sometimes when you are having your studio at home. So, so my brother, I want you to talk about your own prayer, your own wish. What do you wish? So that if we really want to talk to some people, so I was telling the story of Midwifery Council and Nursing Council of Nigeria. They came up with one kind of verification exercise that the whole nurses in diaspora and Nigeria, they were like running helter skelter. So somebody gave them my contacts. They came to this show, just like you came. After they came, I took up their matter and I started talking about it in my show. I sent it to House of Rep, and House of Rep now saw it, and they stopped the verification exercise and called for another committee to investigate it and report. And that's how we continue to push. And then there was the chairman committee, House of Rep chairman committee on health institutions is called Dr. Magaji. He's representing Zango Kataf people in House of Rep. So I invited him to this show. And when he came, some nurses came up, asked him questions, and he said, we thought it was like this. Okay, that means we have to bring some nurses to come to the, the, the floor of the House of Rep to defend themselves. So they sent some nurses. That's how we came up with something reasonable. Do you understand? So, as African voice in diaspora, you cannot say this kind of thing and we keep quiet. We are going to um, call on one or two or three people, you know, especially the Minister of Health. The Minister of Health stayed in US here. It was here, he was working here, he knows the process before he was invited to become minister in Nigeria. Do you understand? So, and we have the contact of all those people, and a lot of them listen to what we say here. So eventually, why I want to hear your prayer. I want to hear your public prayer and your public request, so that we can know, we can work in consonance and say this is what you said and this is what you want, and we are appealing that give him this kind of opportunity. Because we cannot, even in the court of law, it cannot be given, the court cannot grant you what you did not pray. If you look at this thing, more than 200 people, if you look at the screen, you see that more than 200 people watching us from Facebook alone, about 200 and that something. Now we have come back to 206. If you look at it, 200 people are watching. And in Instagram, a lot of people, I can't even count them, are watching on YouTube. So I want you to specifically make a prayer that I'm going to record because of privacy policy, in US. If you want to record somebody, you have to tell the person. This particular place now, I'm going to cut it out and I'm going to send it with our own message to different places to give attention to this your passionate request. So I want to ask you, and I want you to be, it's going to be on record. Despite what you have passed through in this ministry, not ministry, in this center, what is your request to both the committee and Nigeria?
Well, number one, I had a good vision for this place, and I'm not a perfect person. But I want them to first of all look at my achievements. That's number one. Achieve what we have achieved for that place. Number two, they should make it in such a way that you don't hate somebody to bring down a government agency. It's wrong. You don't hate just because you don't like my face or don't like what I'm doing or you don't like my style of doing things does not mean you should bring down this place. This place is for the interest of our country, it's for the interest of my profession, our profession, dentistry. And then most staff should be made to understand that writing petition or touching document or backbiting is not the way to go in civil service. It's not the way to go. Our progress is our collective understanding and collective movement. After all, a chief executive comes and go. I do not have ambition. One of my ambition is let me finish my time and go. Let me go with my achievement and go. Do not come and spoil my name. I have my name to protect. I have my career ahead of me. I have my political ambition ahead of me. I'm also a politician. I contested in my local government and House of Rep. So I want them to understand the fact that there is not about witch hunting. It's about doing the right thing to do. And then look at the achievement, look at the lapses, and where we can make amends, we make amends. My concern is not to just come outright to finish this person just because we don't like him. That is one of my prayers that you should let it be, let this agency be, let it survive. Even after I'm gone, let it survive because let staff know, let us all take ownership of that organization, all of us, ownership, and I'm still the chief executive. And I want to finish my time in that place and move on. I'm not here to stay forever. But I want them to also look at the fact that where did we start? You don't look at my history from when I don't look at my history from what is there. Look at the past. Look at those before me. They were since 1988. You can dust the record because when you want to check achievement, you dust the records of all the executives that were there before. I wish they would sit down and look at all the records of all the chief executives that were there before me. And what have I done differently? And what have I achieved differently? That is what I call principle of fair hearing. And staff should be made to know that it's not about you forming groups to hate him and bringing documents. It does not go well. Nobody knows where we'll meet tomorrow. Those are just my prayers. I just want to finish my time. I want my name to go normally. I don't want my name to spoil because I didn't come there to come and pack anybody's money or take anybody. I'm not after that. After all, I live a simple life. And that's what I want people to understand. And that's why I said I'm very happy for the opportunity to express myself like I do because you have given me a fair hearing. At least you've heard my whole story. Thank you, Chinedu. I'm grateful.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Sani. I told you that this platform is for you to come and talk your own talk because a lot of people talk things about people, and sometimes it will never end without prejudice. But when you come and talk your own talk, we can now say this is what Sani said, not this is what I heard Sani said, and that's
Yes,
why
that's
we
true.
like hearing from people. Thank you for coming. And finally,
Thank you.
what can you tell the world about this platform, Chinedu and TV?
Well, I'm very happy I was able to meet you, Chinedu. I'm very happy because from the way you sounded as if, yeah, this channel is good. It's good for us. It gives us an opportunity to air our views and be able to be heard around the world. And I'm very grateful. It's a wonderful thing. I didn't know I could be able to do it. Well, thank you very much. It's wonderful. I like the channel. And I think I'm going to add it to my favorite channels so that I can also log in as well. So, yeah,
Okay.
African Voice in Diaspora is really
Yeah.
speaking for us. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Sani. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you.
All our
Thank you.
viewers, you have seen we had Dr. Sani Dalarabe. Today, the CEO and Chief Executive and Director of In-Country Center for Oral Health for Africa. So from our interview, we discovered he has challenges from some committee and a lot of things. Nigeria factor, and he is praying that we also should ask and join people because I saw people talking about him. That's why I invited him. You don't know about this channel before. You didn't request for
Yes,
you to be here. I'm the
yes,
one that
please.
look for you. So
Thank you very
because you answered me respectfully, we are going to join our own voice to ask the authority to listen to you.
Thank you
At
very
least
much.
the fair hearing. And if it requires one or two people, I can. There's a way I do it, and they will come here and answer.
Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. For those of
Have a
you in
wonderful day.
Instagram, those watching from all of our channels and platforms, thank you for listening to Dr. Sani today. God bless you, people. Remember, as usual, 8 p.m. Nigerian time, 2 p.m. Central American time, we always come here to give the voice to the voiceless. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Yeah, my people, you have heard how it was today. We had Dr. Sani today as our guest speaker, and Dr. Sani is CEO and Director, Intercountry Center for Oral Health for Africa. Told you they have 6 in the world, and the one is controlling the entire Africa. So we have a big shot in the studio today, and you heard his story. For those of you who will be seeing us offline, continue to share this live video, continue to contact people, continue to tag people, continue to let friends know that African Voice in Diaspora has come to stay. God bless you, my people. You know I love you, and I'll keep loving you. Good presentation, Dr. Sani Barabade. Okay, let's government to reinstate him. The man have a good heart. Yeah, thank you.